Hello, I'm Nathan Judah. I'm here with Shrewsbury Town reporter, Mr. Lewis Cox. Lewis, it is Tuesday, that means Defenders Day. It is Defenders Day today. Not like yesterday, but it is Defenders Day, I promise you it is. Okay, so we're going to talk about the four big boys today, the four mainstays, and then we'll talk a little bit about the people who made a few appearances and maybe finish off with some of the guys who you think might get an opportunity next season. So we're going to start with Matt Sadler, Omar Beckles, James Bolton, and Ciala. So, four mainstays and all had pretty decent seasons, didn't they?
To say the least, I mean, well, I suppose to start with the centre halves, Toto and Sadler, well, what a partnership that was. Considering when Hurst came here, Sadler wasn't even a centre half. Quite incredible, really. And Sadler's very much the leader of this club now, player-wise, club captain. He's very modest. He wouldn't like me saying that. He wouldn't like me saying that, but he is. And I think for this transition period with the new manager, the club probably needs Sadler there in his position to guide everyone along. And I think I've reported already that Askey's tapped into Matt Sadler and on the phone, and just to get a feel of the thing, very much
where he sees
club
everything,
captain role.
And it's something he thrives on, doesn't he? He leads on and off the pitch, and the fans love him, and he's very good, isn't he? He's very sure of himself.
Intelligent, great guy. Great future ahead of him after football. He's got a business. He's just very switched on, and exactly who you want as your club captain, I think, really. So he had a brilliant season for the most. So a lot of fans, and certainly maybe even myself, would say he's that 7 out of 10 every week. Consistent, Mr. Consistent. But that's probably harsh in a way. I mean, it's a compliment, but he was better than that a lot of the times.
Sure.
Many times in my man of the match vote, star man. Knows where he's 33. That can catch out a lot of defenders, a lot of players, but he uses experience to read. What he lacks in pace. He just read everything, always in the right position.
Passes, that's exactly what you need, isn't it, really?
There were, I can probably remember 2, maybe 3 games where, against really physical strikers, big units, he was maybe struggling a little bit, but so were the whole back four. But for the majority, his understanding of it is so key, and I think you can never sort of underestimate having an old player who's maybe hasn't got the legs anymore, who's still so switched on and knows where to be, because not just for himself, also to put everyone else in place.
Sure, of course, absolutely.
Credit him. I think we'll be seeing him in centre half, left-sided centre half, come pre-season friendlies. Come August the 4th, which is the first League One game, I think he absolutely needs to be there. Be interesting to see who he's next to, Toto and Ciala.
Let's move on to him then.
My player of the season potentially, played the most games up to April, had not missed a minute in the league before he had this bad head injury at Rochdale. Absolutely immense, absolute unit, rightly so. Caught interest of clubs in the division above. Sunderland were mentioned, and Ipswich, I believe. So he's one certainly that in the bracket of a town going to keep hold of him. He's got a year left. So far, I heard from Askey that there's no interest in any, not just Toto, but actually any players have received no sort of chats with formal approaches, anything like that. So it looks good at the moment. He's got another year, so they're in no need to sell him.
But great if they can keep them too, though, right?
Ciala, if they could keep him, it would be a massive statement. For Askey, it would be massive. Askey will know him from his days sort of conference football. He likes it here, Toto. He does. He's also ambitious, and he'll want to play as high as he can. And if the right offer comes for him and his family,
it's difficult to turn down.
I know he's big on his family. He's got a young family, and sort of takes care of them, and he'll do what's right there. But for town to keep him would be a massive statement. I think. If they could keep that centre half pairing sort of solid and familiar with each other already. The fans love Toto. Beckles is the interesting one actually, because he's a centre half who played the whole season out of position at left back, and I know Omar Beckles wants to play centre half. He did the job and he did it well for most of the season, if not nearly all of it, but he doesn't want another season filling in at left back, which in his position he wants to play in his right foot position. He'll get a chance in pre-season, Beckles, and if he does well, Sadler or Toto are going to have to step out. It's a clean slate under Askey, and if Beckles works and is one of the better players in pre-season, you use him because he came for a bit of money, long old contract. Beckles, he certainly showed at left back that he's a really good player
Yeah.
for this league, and I'm excited to see him at centre half in his rightful position
Sure.
because he believes in himself. He's confident. I think he could be a massive player for Shrewsbury Beccles. So how we get the 2 out of those 3 is going to be interesting. Whether
That's a good conundrum to have if you
Yeah.
can keep all 3 of them. I mean, I guess if one does leave, then
Well, exactly,
you've got 2 good central
yeah, I
defenders
mean,
there.
NCR's the one that may be likely to go if one of them goes, but you've got a ready-made replacement. You know, one of the first players, obviously at the time of speaking, there are rumours about Kieran Kennedy from Macclesfield, who's a centre half. There are other centre halves attached to the club who you know, might be sold, might have a chance. But Askey's obviously saw that as a position he still wanted to add one of his guys from Macclesfield from, if that comes off. They're in a good position at centre half, certainly are, and at full back they're not far off as well. James Bolton, first season in the Football League at right back. Fair play, he was so consistent, so solid for the majority of the season. For me, did not look out of place.
Yeah.
Matured, improved, sort of learnt what he had to do. He's not this sort of modern flying fullback. He's a solid defender, really solid defender. The amount of blocks, think of West Ham away in the cup where he made that one in extra time, like that save on the line, and just he's such a great defender, honest sort of defender. Great season for him. I imagine he'll keep his place. You know, there's Luke Hendry there's back up there. Left back, where Beccles played last season, Junior Brown, obviously fan favourite, 3 seasons here. Hopefully we'll get him into a 4th. He's out of contract, so he's mulling over those terms as we speak, as I understand it. There's not too much interest in him. Obviously he missed 7-8 months with that horrid knee injury, so if they can get him fit and firing and back at left back, that is
good to see him back
massive,
though,
because
that last final.
Well, yeah, he was on the bench, wasn't he? And he, on his day, one of the best left backs in League One for me. And hopefully, I mean, Junior's not from too far away, is he? So hopefully he doesn't want a big move. He had the injury, so I might feel like there's unfinished business here. Be to see sort of consistent defence next season, as it worked so well this season. I think could bode well, couldn't it? For a bit of familiarity, consistency, it could stand them in good stead. I think certainly with those 4, hopefully more.
And Joe Riley?
Yeah, Riley was one who wasn't offered deals, so he's left. Not sure where he'll end up actually. I mean, sad to see Joe go. Lovely guy. Fans liked him. Obviously went through the worst news this year, losing a child, him and his partner, and the way he bounced back from that, the support around him, the way he came back, played some games in centre mid and got fans singing about him. The whole sort of football family supporting him was brilliant. And yeah, Joe will be missed. He was really lively in the changing rooms, one of the ones that brought the banter, really one of the ones that all the players loved, and he always did a job. It's just a shame under Hurst that Riley never got a go at right back to cement himself, but I think he'll go on and have for wherever he signs a good season, and still a lot left in Riley to have a good career in the Football League.
So from these players, and you've said that a lot of them hopefully will stay and play. Would you see, who do you think coming in from any youngsters or anyone who hasn't made too many more appearances that you think will get the chance, or do you think it's going to be a couple of brand new faces?
Well, no, I mean, we've mentioned the one from Macclesfield, Kennedy, who I'm not sure whether that will be confirmed by the time people watch this, but that straight away I wouldn't expect too many more central defensive additions to that one from Macclesfield. In terms of who's already in the squad, there are options. Luke Hendry's the sort of backup right back. I understand he wasn't sort of so favoured under Paul Hurst, and we weren't even seeing him in the matchday squad. Came with a lot of potential in January as a permanent signing. So I would imagine that he's going to get a go, and so Askey can see what he can do. He's a good lad by all accounts, Hendry, and I imagine he's still going to have a chance here. I mean, there are others. There are more forgotten people. Zach Jules, centre half, arrived last season from Reading, had a couple of injuries, couple of loans, and it didn't quite happen for him. Certainly didn't happen for him at Shrewsbury, but he's still under contract. And
now they've got refreshment and a new manager. These are times when you want to prove yourself, and just because you weren't used last year doesn't mean to say that you can another manager might see something completely different.
Someone like Jules is young, got a lot of good traits. Athletic, quick, strong, powerful. As I say, a lot of stuff to work with there. Whether the new management think he's ready, we'll see. Hopefully we get to judge him in the friendlies, see where he's at,
and that's going to be important for a lot of these players, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's their first chance to show Askey what they're about. Askey's obviously have watched all of the games and the videos and heard from the rest of the staff what these players are about. But when he gets to see them with his own eyes, another one we might see in summer is Christos Shellis. Only 18, Cypriot, only one of the scholars, but wow. First year pro, I should say, going into next season, but he is very well thought of.
Yeah.
He's absolutely, I mean, Hurst and Chris Doig could not say enough about him in terms of his potential. So if that goes well for him, maybe he needs a loan, but certainly see him in pre-season. It could be one for the future. They're well stocked defensively for me. You know, you could say that even if Enciala goes, who you would think is the one that could go, they're still well stocked. You know, especially if another comes in, you'd fancy another fullback. They lost Max Lowe, the left back Loney, obviously gone back to Derby. But you know, Beckles covered. Junior Brown hopefully sticks around. They are well stocked. There are certainly other positions on the pitch, I think. And we'll speak about. We've already spoke about goalkeepers. We'll speak about midfield and forwards that need more work than in defence. I would say they're in a good position with a lot of good players. Hopefully, familiarity, consistency, reliability all sticks around again. So it's a solid base for next season.
Good stuff, solid base. That's what we need. Oh, we've gone a little bit dark there, to be fair. Nearly dropped off the screen. So that's your only defenders. So tomorrow will be Wednesday, and we will see from the
Midfielders
point of view.
Right,
We'll
you were
see you
testing
then.
me.
We'll see you then. Take care. Bye bye.